Iconic astronaut Neil Armstrong once said, "Mystery creates wonder, and wonder is the basis of man's desire to understand." Now I know what you're thinking, Adam, what does the first man on the moon have to do with pro wrestling? And to that I say, I'm not telling. Yeah, it's annoying that, isn't it, WWE? Don't get me wrong, intrigue is part and parcel of the product, and it's a proven winning formula that keeps fans coming back, but only when there's an answer. When there's not, it's frustrating and provides another reminder that the folks in charge don't really have any sort of plan. Every single angle, idea, or character contained within this video was really interesting at the time, but never given a proper explanation or ending. Now years, even sometimes decades on, and we're still sat here wondering why we let them do this to us. My name is Adam Cleary, and these are 10 mysteries WWE never explained. Number 10, Booker T's I Still Remember note. Years from now, when fans think of CM Punk's pipe bomb promo or the verbal jousting between The Rock and Austin, they will still be tossing themselves raw, and yes, I absolutely include myself in that. Nobody, though, is going to say, "Hey, remember that backstage skit involving Booker T and Heidenreich? Boy, those were the days." On a 2003 episode of Raw, Book was chilling out with everyone's least favourite member of LOD when he received a note simply reading, "I still remember." Annoyed, Booker then went off at Heidenreich for some reason and then stomped off to the ring for his match. That was the one and only time this was ever brought up. Who wrote the note? Who stuck it to the locker room door and knocked? What do they still remember? Why has it set Booker off this badly? Why, oh why, oh why, oh why was it never mentioned again? Number 9, exactly why the Nexus attacked The Undertaker. 2010 was a memorable year for guys like Wade Barrett and his Nexus crew. Together they stormed the WWE scene, laid waste to top stars like John Cena, and instantly became, and this is the scientific term, hot shit. Later that same year, they went on to help Kane bury The Undertaker at bragging rights. Barrett teased in promos that their Taker bashing was the start of something bigger. He, as the leader of the Renegade group, had lofty plans. Rumors began popping up on news sites that Wade would be The Undertaker's next WrestleMania opponent, and some even claimed he'd finally be the one to actually beat him. That, didn't happen. Taker worked Triple H at Mania, Barrett and the core got squashed in 90 seconds by, amongst other people, literally Kane for some reason, and WWE never again mentioned this grand plan of theirs or why they went after the dead man. Number 8, 1991's Masked Man attacks. At WrestleMania 6, Brutus Beefcake handed Mr. Perfect his first televised loss. 1 year later, old brother Bruty was dressing up like the worst creator wrestler this side of WWE 2K20 and went about attacking random people for reasons. Commentators were wowed as the mysterious Masked Man ambushed many pre-Mania 7, but fans would never be told who it was or why he was doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people probably guessed, but most didn't realise it was Ed Leslie until the internet told them years later. In real life, Leslie was recovering from a life-altering, paralysing accident that had destroyed his face completely, so WWE gave him a mask and something easy to do. But as suddenly as they'd started, the attacks just stopped. Victims like Rick Martel and Earthquake never spoke of them again, and Leslie returned to playing Brutus for a barbershop talking head role. Number 7, the person behind GTV. What could be more thrilling than watching Val Venus insult Big Show's penis at the urinals, or Al Snow talk to a mannequin head as he read magazines, or, I don't know, Eddie Guerrero banging 2 prostitutes in a shower? During the Attitude Era, the answer was literally anything, but that didn't stop them from trying out some secretive filming in the form of GTV. Fans were never given much context. GTV, announcers said, was a complete and utter mystery, but they definitely loved to know who was snooping on the roster. Reports suggested either Goldust or Tom Green, of all people, were penciled in as the weirdos filming backstage. There was even talk of spelling Jericho with a G and making it his gimmick when he arrived in the company. Jericho? In the end, nobody was outed, and GTV, like most other mysteries on this list, fizzled out before reaching a conclusion. Number 6, King of the Ring 1999's briefcase. At King of the Ring that year, Austin was on course to beat both Vince and Shane McMahon in a ladder-based bout to seize control of the company, when suddenly the briefcase he was grabbing mysteriously started moving out of reach. After half-heartedly hinting that McMahon crony Big Boss Man was behind the incident, the WWF moved swiftly on to a first blood match between Austin and The Undertaker. The small matter of who helped Vince and Shane win the prior month was deemed unimportant. Actually, given what an easy bit of heat this is, it's amazing they've never gone back to it again as the old ladder match rug pull. Maybe one for Ellsworth someday if he ever comes back. Number 5, Raw's anonymous general manager. No, it clearly was not Hornswoggle. For months and months and months and months and months, Michael Cole read out emails from a so-called anonymous Raw general manager who was controlling the program remotely. The idea had legs, especially if WWE were going to introduce a brand new authority figure. Unfortunately, they didn't have a clue who should be their Wizard of Oz, and the storyline dragged on and on and on and on and on until being temporarily postponed and brought back again so Old Horny could get the rub. After that, WWE palmed his authority off as a passing joke, and they'd bring the laptop back for one more run in 2014. This time, Hornswoggle was nowhere to be found, but the conclusion was every bit as annoying. WWE abandoned the MacBook menace again and moved on to the authority instead. Cool. Number 4, Shane McMahon's Lockbox. Lord only knows what secrets that Vince McMahon, a human being for whom shame is nothing more than just how he pronounces his son's name when he's drunk, would want locked away. But it was certainly discussed at length when the prodigal son himself returned to WWE programming in 2016, threatening as he did to reveal his father's big secrets to the world if he didn't book a Mania match against The Undertaker. Or something like that, anyway, I don't remember. Vince, seemingly rattled, reluctantly agreed. However, that'd be the last time the curious Lockbox was mentioned as part of the storyline. WWE instead pivoted towards the more natural tale of Shane's devil-may-care attitude and The Undertaker's willingness to shut Vince's son down on the biggest show of the year. Whatever was in the box would have to wait. We are all still waiting. Number 3, who tried to murder Vince McMahon? According to the storyline that dribbled out after the fact, Vincent Kennedy McMahon had faked his own death in 2007 by blowing up his own limousine. This was, of course, a necessary evil due to the Chris Benoit tragedy, but it surely cannot have been the original plan. Vince's first thought, as revealed by Bruce Pritchard on his podcast, was, well, I can't be on TV if I'm dead. Yep, he was fully willing to kill off his famous on-screen character to concentrate on all things backstage. That means there were actually 2 mysteries at play. First, why couldn't McMahon just remove himself from television without the stage death? Second, who was the killing going to be pinned on? Neither of those questions were ever answered. WWE, feeling the heat of the Benoit situation, went with the uninspired celebrity attention-seeking angle as an excuse, and, well, we all just realized that figured. Oh, and big shout-outs, of course, to WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump, who allegedly got in touch with Vince after the episode to see if he was okay. It's, still real to some of us, damn it. Number 2, who tried to kill Vince again? Yeah, Vince was a bit like a Final Destination side character between 2007 and 2008. Not only was he blown up in a limousine, but he was also unceremoniously maimed by staging after giving away millions of dollars live on air. At the end of his $1 Million Mania publicity stunt, Vince looked on in horror as C4, or some other explosive device used in demolition, exploded part of the set and a big piece of the rig landed on top of him. Triple H and Stephanie rushed to his aid, and their crocodile tears were almost as unconvincing as the tale's end result. Whoever tried to kill McMahon got away with it. Vince worked off-screen until the following January and returned as a babyface who was definitely not dead. The angle was never talked about outside a few window-dressing get-well-soon skits, and there was no ending. Number 1, CM Punk's McMahon-related expose. Aha, you see what I've done? How I've tied this into the first entry? Yes, very good, aren't I? Get on my level. Anyway, everyone remembers CM Punk's blistering pipe bomb promo from the 27th of June 2011 edition of Monday Night Raw, and not just because I mentioned it 10 minutes ago. It's timeless stuff and helped elevate Punk to new heights as a WWE headliner. That same outspoken personality would become his legacy, but not many people dwell on what else he teased in amongst all the corporate bashing. Punk said he would expose something foul about the real Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He also baited fans by talking about WWE's Be a Star anti-bullying campaign before his microphone was cut off and the show ended. Whatever Punk was going to tell people about Vince, he promptly forgot all about it and instead favored taunting John Cena for being an inferior pro wrestler. Bullying McMahon and whatever the expose was were all left behind in the ensuing sprint towards Money in the Bank and have never been dragged up again since.
Does anyone know any songs then?
Not
No.
really.
Clearly knows Wonderwall.
Not all of it.
How about we do a video channel instead?
Yeah, right, cool. Yeah.
Lists, everyone?
List.
Fine.
So there you have it, those are 10 mysteries WWE never explained, read to you by a man with a cold. That's what it is. That's what I've got. It's a cold. I'm sorry. Let me know what you made of it all in the comments below, and of course don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I've of course been Adam Cleary, and I will see you soon.